If you're an introvert like me, any form of communication can get overwhelming quickly. And like a muscle, communication skills weaken if they're not exercised regularly. On this channel, you'll see a bunch of shorts of me using this customized 10-year-old microphone to interview ordinary folks at Open Sauce 2025. We'll talk about that experience in a moment. When I was a performing academic with a speaking role, I didn't use a cheesy TV microphone. That would have been silly. But let me tell you how I came up with this thing, what I learned using it, and how you can too. Now, I watch a fair amount of hockey. In post-game interviews, you rarely see sports reporters, but you do see their microphones like this with all their logos. So that's where I got the idea. And they ask questions, and the questions are answered. Interviews. You know what I mean. From sports reporting, I came to appreciate that this TV-style microphone itself has some effect on how people respond to it. When you carry this, you identify yourself and your role as an interviewer. TV-style interviews have a familiar cadence and dialogue. The microphone person points the microphone to their mouth and asks a question. The microphone person points the microphone to the other person, and they answer the question. I've never tried this kind of interview before, but when you're an introvert, this microphone effect is some kind of social engineering magic. To be honest, I sucked at asking questions in social settings. Thinking hard about explaining answers to people was part of my job. When giving out answers in conversations, I forgot to ask questions. That's one of my shortcomings and one of the skills that I wanted to upgrade. The simplest questions asked of me, like what do you do, for example, were always overwhelming. And I would compensate by over-explaining because, I've done a lot. It's not that I can't ask a thoughtful an introspective question. It's that I would not stop overthinking my answers to simple questions long enough to ask that thoughtful question. So armed with this microphone and my fearless friend, Nozomu, we set out to Open Sauce 2025 to do some interviews and see whether the social engineering aspect of this microphone worked as well as we thought it might. This is my friend Nozomu. He's fearless, and he's working on his English, and he's never been to anything like Open Sauce, so I invited him to join me. We talked a lot about what I want to do with this channel, and he was happy to help. So on day 1 and day 2 of Open Sauce, we were filming some antics, which you can see in the Chronicles of Nozomu playlist on this channel. But moving to actually talking to a person was even more of a challenge. Fortunately, Nozomu was the one hustling around and funneling in the passers-by. I stood and waited with the microphone, and sure enough, people came to talk. Nozomu was heroic, and I'm grateful to have his help. The original plan had me asking 5 questions, including whether people were frustrated with the upgrades. The idea was, well, kind of a marketing question for the channel. But that part of the plan was tossed. Why? Because people at Open Sauce were inspired. People had new ideas and aspirations. It was a space free of frustration. So that question about frustration was jettisoned. It just didn't fit into the mood. We ended up exhausted after day 1 and decided to wait until day 2 to set up and do interviews. I simplified down to 3 questions. So much easier. We start with the icebreaker. This is Chris Hogue. We're here at Open Sauce, and who do I have with me?
I'm Kyle. I'm just a visitor. This is my first time at Open Sauce.
Then, what was the coolest thing you saw today here, Kyle?
The coolest thing, somebody made a drone that is simulating a lunar landing, but on Earth. And I thought that was pretty awesome.
That's the inspiration question. Then, what is the most impressive piece of technology here that you wish you could take home with you?
I saw those mini 3D printers. I thought that would be a super cool niche little thing just to have in my room. That'd be pretty nice. I haven't made a full round around all the projects and stuff because there are just so many. But from what I've seen, I think for me that's pretty neat.
That's the aspirations question. But there was a lot of outtakes and bloopers. Oh. On my first go, just me, watch me struggle with the basics intro. Coming to you live from the San Mateo Fairgrounds, this is Open Sauce 2025. You're watching Unplanned Upgrades, where we're trying to get some videos and some of the interesting things that have happened for you. Just keep filming. No, don't. I'm gonna try again. Hi, this is Chris Hogue and my friend Nozomu. We are at Open Sauce 2025 at the San Mateo Fairgrounds. We're having a great time here, and there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff. And there were other typical problems. Here, I forgot to turn on the microphone. Here, I delivered the instructions, but then I botched the first question. But I got some encouragement from the young person I was interviewing and his dad, and, well, carried on. Hi, sorry.
No, it's fine. Keep going.
I'm going to keep going.
Keep going. It's his show. Yeah.
Chris Hogue here at Open Sauce 2025. Who do I have with me now?
My name is Ben, but people at my school call me Frenchman Benjamin.
Frenchman Benjamin, what was the coolest thing you saw?
Here, there's this giant computer that could play Minecraft. That was pretty sweet.
And of all the pieces of technology and the know-how that is in people's brains, what would you most like to have back at home?
Either those, probably the giant computer or a VR headset, because there's a lot of those here.
Here, I spent too much time contemplating and replying and not moving on to the next question. That got edited out. Brooks, what was the coolest thing you saw here at Open Sauce?
I really liked, there's a hexagonal array of hexagons with an infinity mirror and LEDs inside. That was really cool. And I also really like the exhibits where they got some plasma bulbs that are glowing, or they got plasma toroids inside.
That's awesome. We've got some fisheye footage of that hexagon mirror thing, so that'll go well. Fortunately, I was also learning how to edit the video so I could hide my shortcomings. And now you know why I made this microphone. It truly was a communications skills workout, and I did learn a lot. Perhaps the most important things I learned were: ask the question, listen to the answer, try not to react to the answer. Your inner librarian needs to say shh. Keep the cadence and pacing. Ask the next question. And yes, filming an interview is about the person being interviewed. It's not about the interviewer. I was very happy with the results, and it was a good workout. Interviewing ordinary people at a meeting of YouTube creator stars was fun and unique, and I captured some articulate folks, their inspirations, and their aspirations. Now, if you want to try this out for yourself, there are a few things you should know. First, this. This is a legal release form that I printed up for people I was interviewing to sign, and their parents if necessary. It turns out I didn't need to use them because Open Sauce is a free-to-film event, and here is the sign at the front of the venue. So if you're trying to interview folks anywhere else, you might want to bring along some video release forms. These are necessary if you want to show interviews with random people on your own YouTube channel. You can find templates for these online and edit them to suit your situation. And of course, you'll need a customized microphone. I'm not going to go into how I made this one, as I found better options, and I put some links in the description. But this one looks the part of a retro TV microphone with the very long USB cable connected to my phone. But after trying it out, I think I'll instead get something wireless that I can connect to my phone and still put the logo on. So these are the colored foam covers. The cube or triangle, whatever you find, is called a microphone flag if you're searching for one. The part inside the cube is foam, so it doesn't make noise when you're moving the microphone around. I put a link to this whole kit in the description. Now you can print your logo on sticker paper or regular paper, but I chose to 3D print a logo. Most 3D printing slicers like Bamboo Labs, Prusa Slicer, and Orca Slicer all support extruded fonts and simple rectangles, so I made these in the slicer, no CAD software required. Now here's a quick look at how to do this in Bamboo Labs Slicer. From the Prepare tab, select the cube icon at the top left, and you can insert a cube on the build plate. Then, use the Scale tool to widen it to fit the microphone, about 5 centimeters square, and about 5 millimeters tall. Then, select the rectangle and use the Text tool, the letter T in the upper icon bar, to add your text. Set the embedded depth to 0 and the thickness to 2 for raised text, and put a check in the surface box at the bottom of the dialog. Type your input text and drop it on the rectangle. Now, the old style USB cardioid microphone can still be found, but there are also slim wand logo microphones that can hold a wireless lav microphone, and they fit under the foam head of the wand. This is a set that would work with that. This is just a magnetic clip-on lav microphone. And this part plugs into your phone. The magnetic clip-on microphone can be clipped into the wand with a custom flag on it, like this one. And here's another one. I've not tried these, but if you already have this kind of clip-on lav microphone, this could be a good option for you. Again, check out the links if you're interested. And remember, I'm not paid by any manufacturers or retailers for providing these links. So help me out and remember to like and subscribe. And I will say it again, by upgrading your gear and your software, you're upgrading your skills. Thanks for listening, and do check out the shorts playlist, the Open Sauce 2025 shorts, and of course, the Chronicles of Nozomu. And we go out As usual, the bubbly way. Bubbles! Bye-bye!